This is Alan with the Grilling Network. Welcome. So glad you could join us. For today's video, we are seasoning cast iron skillets using our Traeger. Typically, you would use your oven, but for this comparison, we're going to see if it really makes a big difference. Let's get going. For this comparison video, we're using cast iron from the FieldCompany. They sent me two number 10s and a number 8. This number 10 right here, I season it using the traditional method inside my oven, and that is preheat your oven to 200 degrees Fahrenheit, place your cast inside for 1 hour. That opens the pores of the cast iron, allowing you to apply your oil. Crank the temperature up to 500 degrees Fahrenheit, place your cast back inside for 1 hour, and then turn off the oven and let it cool down naturally. And then repeat that process 3 times. For the oil, I'm using Buzzywaxx. Amazing stuff. They have a proprietary blend that has oils and beeswax, and as you can see here, it turned this pan jet black. Your mileage may vary depending on the iron content and other stuff inside your cast, but with the Field, it works amazing. So we have our Traeger preheating to 200 degrees Fahrenheit using the super smoke mode. I have another cast that's not seasoned. And as you can see, hopefully on camera it shows it. It's got a dull gray. We're going to change that. We are also going to showcase the difference if you already had a seasoned cast and you want to apply this method. This one's also been seasoned using the method I did here. But with this one, I'm going to toss it in the smoker and add another seasoning process, and we'll see if it makes it even better. We have our Traeger preheated to 200 degrees Fahrenheit using the super smoke mode. Let's toss our cast inside. Let's grab the right one. Again, I'm pretty excited to see the difference if it adds any additional flavoring and darkness to it. We'll let this go for 1 hour. We'll see you back soon. It's been roughly an hour in time to check on our cast iron. As it's quite hot, make sure you use a hot pad. I'm going to go ahead and raise the temperature to 500 degrees Fahrenheit on my Traeger. Close this back up so it comes up to temp. When it comes to applying oils to your cast iron, there are several options out there. Personally, I like using Buzzywaxx, and as I mentioned before, I've already done it on one of my other cast irons, the number 10 that we are going to demonstrate in this video, and it turned it jet black. So, they send them into these nice little pucks. All you really need to do, take a lint-free cloth, apply some oil, and then rub it around. Make sure you hit all areas and sides of the cast. That way it's accepting the smoke and seasoning. When it comes time for the inside, let's see if I can show that. When you're wiping it off or applying the oils, you want to make sure that you apply it everywhere like I mentioned, but make sure you get all of it off. It just takes a little bit amount of the Buzzywaxx to do its magic. If you don't do that, oils will pool up in the bottom of your cast and leave, marks, and you can see that effect, but I want to make sure that it's completely evenly applied. We're going to toss it back inside the smoker, let it go for 1 hour, turn off the smoker and let it cool down naturally, and then I'm going to repeat that process, as I mentioned, 3 times. Here we have the one that's already pre-seasoned. Again, just take another clean spot, work it in pretty good. Really excited to see what the second coat or seasoning is going to do to this cast. Okay. Again, 1 hour at 500 degrees Fahrenheit. We'll see you back soon. It's been roughly 2 hours now. The Traeger was running at 500 degrees Fahrenheit for 1 hour. At that point, I powered off the unit and then allowing the cast irons to cool down, and they're now cool to touch. I don't know if you can see this on camera, but I'll try showing it. After the first application, this thing went pretty black, highly impressed. Here's the original one. And then I'll see if I can do a side-by-side comparison. So this one's had 3 applications in the oven. This one has only 1. Very impressed thus far. We're going to apply 2 more. And as for the 8, it actually went even darker. So that's what I expected. The Traeger is now preheating again, 200 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're going to use the Super Smoke mode again. We'll see you back soon. Our Traeger has been running on their Super Smoke mode at 200 degrees Fahrenheit for another hour. The cast iron is ready for round 2. Again, make sure you use a hot pad. One thing I'd like to mention or point out is during the when you're using your pellet smoker, sometimes you'll get a little bit of ash, and that's from the pellets. Just wipe it off before applying Buzzywaxx. So again, same process before. Just lightly apply some pressure, as you see here, and then we're going to use a lint-free towel to wipe it off and work it in. Making sure that you hit all sides. And as I mentioned before, when you're doing the inside, a little bit goes a long way. Make sure you wipe out as much as you can as to avoid pool up. We'll crank our Traeger back up to 500 degrees Fahrenheit, let it go for another hour, and repeat the process 2 more times. Round 2 of seasoning is complete, and to recap, this number 10 was seasoned inside my oven. This one right here was here on the smoker. This one was seasoned in the oven and on the smoker. Let's check them out. As you can see here, it's pretty much gone jet black. The inside is very dark, almost jet black. Now let's show, this is the one that was in the oven, and hopefully you guys can see that it's not as dark as the one that I used on my smoker. Let's take a look at the one that was seasoned in the oven and on the smoker. This thing is significantly darker, and look at that on the inside. So we're going to do 1 more round in the process. That's preheat your smoker to 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Let it go for an hour. Apply your Buzzywaxx. Crank it up to 500. Let it go for another hour. We'll see you guys back soon. Round 3 is complete. And I have to say, I am highly impressed. The field cast iron went definitely a lot darker. As you can see, jet black. Now let's compare it to the one that we season inside the oven using the traditional method, using Buzzywaxx as well. As you can see, it's still dark, but not as dark as the one that I seasoned with my smoker. Now let's compare it to the one that we seasoned in the oven and follow up with the second seasoning using the smoker. Huge, huge difference. This one is much darker than this. So it's probably because I seasoned it, a second round. I'm definitely going to follow up with a seasoning using my smoker on this pan, but I wanted to show that to you guys to help, if you guys wanted to do this method. This has been my personal experience when seasoning cast iron. I've done it inside using an oven using the traditional method and outdoors doing the same. With Buzzywaxx, hopefully I demonstrated and showed you guys on camera that it does make a huge difference when using an outdoor smoker. If you guys like this video, make sure you guys like it, thumbs up, subscribe, and leave comments below. Until next time, guys, we'll see you soon.